Recording started.
All right, so we are now in Unit 2, okay? And so we're going over North America. So we already got the introduction of geography. Now we're doing North America, then we'll do Central America, South America, and Europe, and the block's over. It goes that fast. So that's why some of you, I've been texting you saying, hey, make sure you're getting caught up, make sure you're getting caught up, because this thing goes fast. It's like boom, 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 boom. Okay. So let me just kind of show you a couple things that are needing to be done. Okay. You should have done already right now lesson 1 quiz, lesson 2 quiz, and lesson 3 quiz. Okay. All of those should already be done. What you should have done by the end of this week is lesson 4 quiz, lesson 5 quiz. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about today about your first. Good job. I'm glad you're getting caught up there. Yeah, sometimes I run the reports on Monday because I put in zeros on Monday and I run the reports. And if you're behind on Monday, then I usually still text you. Okay, that's probably why you got a message from me that you're behind when maybe you got it caught up, Monday or Tuesday. Okay. So make sure you have them done by the end of the week so he doesn't show up on my report, okay? So today I'm also going to be going over your first project. Your first project's due the end of this unit, so Unit 2, and it's a presentation on a country, okay? You can choose any country within the entire world and do a little presentation on it. We're going to go over how to do that research at the very end, but we will do a little breakout of how this will work, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to break you guys into 3 groups, okay? One of you guys are going to be Canada, one is going to be the United States, one is going to be Mexico, okay? And you're going to go on to the onlinelibrary.uen.org, type in the username and password, and then you're going to find under the culturegram portion, okay, you kind of see where my thing is, culturegram, it's going to talk about land and climate, population, language, and religion, okay? So I'll break you out on those groups, but first I want to screen share and show you how this works, okay? So let me screen share real quick. All right, if you can see my screen, will you give me a green check mark real quick? Just so I know we're on the same page here. Okay, it's 2, 4, 5 of you guys have. Yep, you have to give a presentation in this class, and I'll show you how to do it at the very end of class, okay? But this is how you do the research. This is the first step of it, what I'm going over right now. So, if you go to the online library.uen.org, which I'll push this out to you, you're going to go to Utah Student, and you're going to go online is the username, and password is learning, okay? And then it will pop you up right here, okay? So if you go to Culturegram, which is right here, this first one, you can go in and you can pick any country you want to in the entire world, and it will give you a little breakdown of what it is, okay? You have like a world edition, kids edition. I think kids is easy just to look at. So I'm just going to click on kids edition right here. And we're in North America. And so let's say your portion's over Canada. So you're going to click on Canada, and you can see on the side here to the left, you have land and climate, population, language, and religion. Okay, so if I go over population, it will tell me a little bit about the population. Click on language, it'll tell me a little bit about language, religion, land, and climate, okay? So basically that's some of the stuff you want to do when you're researching, going to do your presentation. Another thing that you can use as well in your presentation is I'll let you use Google Scholar. Okay, Google Scholar is another good website that will give you actual material that's good, okay? So you could type in like Canada, and it will pop up different articles that are about Canada. okay? And I tell you to use these because these are what you're going to be using as you're going to college and other things like that, okay? Is journals like that, okay? So right now we're going to use the culturegrams. So once again, you go to the online library, you log in, you go to culturegrams, the first one at the top, and then you'll go to the different edition, whether you're Canada, the United States, or Mexico, okay? So I'm going to stop this right now, my screen sharing, and I'm going to get back. And I'm going to break you guys out into 3 different groups. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes or so to go over and answer these 4 questions, okay, using the culturegrams on the online library at uen.org. I will assign you each a country, each of your groups. So one of you is going to be Canada, one's going to be the United States, one's going to be Mexico. Okay, I'll assign those to you. You guys are going to write. I'll give you permissions to write on the board. You guys are going to write on the board about these subjects. So land and climate, population, language, and religion. Remember to go to onlinelibrary.uen.org. Okay, so let me break you out real quick into groups. Somebody had a question before I break it into groups. Are these the questions for the presentation? Yeah, that's a very good question. You can use these, okay? I'm just wanting you to do a presentation on a country, any country in the entire world. If you are interested in Australia, maybe Thailand, maybe India or Zimbabwe, okay, anything like that. But I would use these. I want like 5 slides. You'd make a little slideshow and then you'll present it. And I'll show you how you present it. You just record your screen and you talk over it. Only I will be the one to say it, but I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit at the very end of class, okay? All right, okay, so let me break you out into groups now. I can find the right one. Oh, come on. Breakout rooms, create rooms. Okay, so you'll have 3 rooms. You're going to be all broken out, and I'm going to make you an assignment in just a second, okay? Okay, group 1, you guys are going to be over Canada, okay? So Canada is going to be your thing. So I'm just circling Canada for you. Okay, I'll make it X through the United States in that. So go research Canada on the online library at uen.org, okay? So just follow those instructions, then write it on the board. You have writing permissions now. All right, group 2, you now have writing privileges. You are going to be the United States, okay? So that's the one you're going to research. You're not going to research Canada. You're not going to research Mexico. The United States. Go to online library at uen.org and start to research those things. You have writing privileges now. Okay, group 3, you guys are going to be researching Mexico, okay? So go to the online library at uen.org and go to those culturegrams and research Mexico. You have privileges now to write on the board, okay? So go ahead and start doing that. I'm going to put a timer on now. All right, great job, guys. You have a little under 3 minutes before I pull you back in. Keep working on that. Group 2, it looks like you're off to a good start. You have about 2 minutes, 30 seconds to just kind of keep doing that little bit of research. All right, Group 3. Looks like some of you guys are starting to write at the bottom there. Good job. Make sure you're going to that onlinelibrary.uen.org and start to get that done. You have about 2 minutes left. All right, everybody, welcome back to the main room. If you can hear me, you want to give me a green check mark real quick. Make sure you guys are out there. Fantastic. Good job. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you guys to move freely throughout the breakout rooms, okay? And I'm just going to have you go to breakout room 1, and we'll just kind of see what they put about Canada. So to move to the room, you can just go and click right above your name where it has all the participants, and just go to room 1. All right, everybody should start coming into room 1. Let's just see a little bit about what everybody said on here. So, a little finger out here. So what they put here was, oh yeah, somebody messed up on the learning one. That kind of went away. Population, about 35.5 million people. They speak 59% speak English, 67 are Canadian. Okay, did anybody else put what other language they speak if only 59% spoke English? Any thoughts? French, good job. Yep, French is the right one, okay? So somebody put Canada as the second largest country in the world after Russia because of its large and multiple different climates, like desert and tundra, okay? So good research there. Let's everybody move to room number 2 now. So room number 2 is what we're moving to. Okay, I'll give just one moment for everybody to move. This is the United States. Somebody put down here at the very bottom, the population is basically 327 million people. So we have a lot more people than Canada. Okay, 77% of the religion is Christian. Okay, somebody said they both fought in the world wars in Vietnam for 19 years, almost 20. Okay. Somebody put right here, the United States is a country of 50 states covering a vast swath, wow, of North America, which with Alaska and then also Hawaii and also Pacific Island nations. Okay. So very good. Let's move to number 2. See what or number 3. Sorry, room number 3 now. Red room number 3. Okay, this is room or breakout room number 3. They went over Mexico. I like the picture right there, so you can kind of see the different cities and provinces of Mexico. It's the largest population of Spanish speakers, so that's good to know. About 125 million, so it's larger than Canada, but smaller than the United States in population. The majority of those that are in Mexico are Roman Catholic. And then some Spanish there is more than 100 different languages there. So all interesting stuff that you're able to find out, but this is how you do some of the research for your projects, okay? So that's how that works. So I'm going to pull everybody back in. All right, so everybody should now be back in the main room, but that's how you'd go and do research as in regards to your presentation, okay? Yep, so hopefully everybody can hear me now. Everybody should be back into the main room. So that's how you'll kind of do some of your research, and you'll make that presentation on a country of your choice. And then I'll show you how to do that recording at the very end of class today, but we're going to go over a little bit more of North America and talk about North America. So somebody says any country. Yes, any country. You can do it. And then somebody says, do we need to have a mic for the presentation? It would be good to have a mic. If you want to do like a video slide where it has pictures and it kind of rotates through there, you can do that as well, but yeah, I don't know. PowerPoint slideshow, yeah, that would work as long as it kind of slides through and I can see you presenting it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, let's get going on here. So here's the objectives that you go through. This is what you'll read through in your module. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about North America. So a couple things about North America. Their physical features. There's a lot of different physical features. We talked a little bit about in Canada, there's glaciers, there's desert. It's a vast array. You have like places like Florida or Cancun in Mexico, just beautiful areas that are beaches. And then you also have tundra. You have Utah, which is what they call a steppe climate. Some people call it a desert, but steppe, where sagebrushy, that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of diverse things. You can see the weathering and glaciation and how it cuts into the different areas, particularly up in like Alaska and Canada area. Weathering causes a whole bunch of different formations. You can kind of see these red rock formations like in Utah, where you had glaciers at one point in time. Lake Bonneville was down there, and it was a glacier, and it just pushed down, and now the erosion has caused these beautiful structures of sandstone and stuff like that you see in northern Utah, or southern Utah, sorry. The landforms also with water and everything like that have different areas, as you can kind of see right there. Somebody says, oh, that's where you are right now, southern Utah. I'm going down there next weekend to go ATV riding. That's where my wife is from. So what part of southern Utah do you live? I'm going to the Kanab area. Yeah, I'll be going to the Kanab area, but I live in northern Utah, a little bit northwest of. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't hear me? Yeah, I have to turn it up. I'll have to talk a little louder. Yeah, it's so I live in northern Utah, like northwest of Ogden, but my wife is from the Kanab area. So, but we're gonna go down there for like the Thanksgiving break. Okay, also talking about climate, you have some very cool areas like mountainy areas. This picture is taken on the border of Nevada and California, the Sierra Nevada mountains, which are some very ridgety mountains, kind of like the Rocky Mountains that you've seen here in Utah and Colorado. Oh, so somebody said where the picture is taken at. So that one's in the Sierra Nevadas. This one, it actually didn't tell me where it's from, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere probably in southern Utah. Good question, though. Okay, as we're going in, talking a little bit more about North America, if we're not talking about the physical characteristics like mountains, that kind of stuff, we're talking now more about the people. Okay, so human culture. So people have decided that is that a melting pot? Yeah, it is a melting pot. So this comes up to a kind of scenario, okay? So some people think that that the United States is one of two things. One, they say it's either like a salad or it's like a melting pot. Okay? A salad, if you think about a salad, you put a whole bunch of different things in there. Like I really like salad. So this one actually looks like some of the salad I like a lot, which is called a Southwest salad, where you get some grilled chicken, some corn, some limes on there, tomatoes, that kind of stuff. And you put it all together, and each has different kind of flavors, and you each bring things to it, okay? And then you also have what's called a melting pot. Has anybody had like done fondue? I think that's what they kind of call it. So melting pots is over the picture to the right there. So somebody said they've done those. But you melt like, sometimes you do oil and you cook meats in there. Sometimes you do cook cheese. This one, it looks like they have chocolate and they dip it in there. So some people say that the United States is kind of like a melting pot, that they all go and all these people come in and they just only conform to the United States or American ideas. And they become Americanized. But other people say it's like a salad and that everybody brings different flavors to it and it just turns out good, right? So I do see people when they come to the United States, they do conform a little bit to the Americanization, is what they call it, to the American beliefs. Like work hard, entrepreneurship, that kind of stuff. But I also see a lot of diffusion, is what it's called, is when like things from other places get put into the United States. Okay, for example, I like Mexican food, right? That wasn't put in here until more Hispanics started coming up, and we have that kind of food that we've put in there. So kind of think about it, what would you think the United States is? Do you think it's a salad or a melting pot? So that's just kind of a different things. Okay, one of the big things about the United States, and you'll notice about North America, is everybody seems to want to come to North America. Okay, um, sorry, I'm trying to look at some of the comments here. I think that all human beings are different. So honestly, I think it's more like a mixed bag of nuts, great together and separate. Yeah, I like that. I think that would go. You'd be more on the line of the salad method, rather than all blending together to think one way. So, very good analogy there. I like that. Um, but one thing you'll notice about North America is everybody wants to come to North America, okay? And because there's what's called push and pull factors. So a factor is we'll study as we're starting to go against uh, like Central America is poverty, right? War. Those things push people out of their countries. And what pulls people, oh, I think I lost everybody.
Recording in progress.
Hey guys, if you can hear me, do you want to give me a green check mark? I think I maybe lost internet for a second there. I apologize. Yeah, it just went out on me. Okay, well, I'm glad we're back. And we can finish up just real quick. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, but we're back. So I was talking about people. Why do people want to come to the United States? So, any thoughts? Why would people want to come to the United States or North America? Okay, better economy. Okay, so they have jobs, right? They're able to feed themselves. Somebody said America. Yep, it's free. Yeah, they get the choice of religion, the country's economies. Yeah, other countries' economies or their job market, or they have war or something like that. That would be push factors. And then you have pull factors that come in, which is, mostly jobs. Okay, people are coming somewhere where they can think the way they want to, and they have jobs the way they want to. Okay. All right, let's go to the next slide here. So we kind of talked a little bit about diffusion before. Okay, diffusion is being able to bring something into other place. Okay, so somebody said we have a government that mostly that benefits people. Yep, that's very true. A lot of governments don't benefit people as much as those especially in North America. Maybe not as much as Mexico, but the United States and Canada have very good governments. So I want to talk about diffusion real quick. You may have heard of the triangle trade where they brought slaves from Africa to the United States, and then they got sugar and stuff and brought to the Bahamas and brought things back and did that triangle trade. So when they did that, there's a diffusion of people, products, and ideas, okay? So things start to shift and move around as people are moving. So for example, in Utah, I was traveling not too long ago in Wyoming. And in Wyoming, I went, or actually, let me take that back. Okay, I'm traveling back east one time, and I asked for fry sauce. Okay. Did they know what fry sauce was when I was back in Florida? Nope. No, they have no idea. Or if I go back to Florida and I say pop, right? Can I get a pop? Yeah, Utah's great fry sauce. Yeah. So they don't have those things back there, but they didn't have them like in Wyoming not too long ago, or Nevada too long ago, until that people have moved from those places and they got those different ideas and they kind of do it. So that's what diffusion is it kind of goes there. So somebody said the Utah accent is weird. Yeah, it is kind of. And it's different places. Like my wife makes fun of me of how I say milk because I use kind of like an E in there. Yeah, somebody said we don't pronounce our T's. Very true. But it's just kind of the different place where you live, you speak differently as well. But those different ideas kind of change over time. Okay. So that's what diffusion is. Okay, let's do a little poll question real quick. I'm going to go just kind of yes or no here. Perhaps 90% of the indigenous people died in the years after the Americans came. Europeans and Africans came to the Americas mainly due to disease. Would that be true or false? Okay, so green check for true, red X for false. What do you think? 90%. 90% of the population. Seems like a lot, huh? Wow, we're pretty tied here. Let's go and sing this. And the correct answer is actually, oops, I didn't even put that on there. It's actually true. There was a whole bunch more indigenous, so American Indian people that lived on the continent, like millions and millions and millions. And because of that diffusion or bringing over different things that they had never seen before, their immune system wasn't built up, and a lot of them died because they didn't have that modern medicine that we have today. So somebody said plausible. Okay. Yep, a bunch of disease kind of came. Yep, no one's prepared, and we're not even prepared. We think today our technology is so good, but we could get a really bad disease that could wipe out a whole bunch of people still. Hopefully our technology will be able to, solve what it is. So, okay, there's one last thing we're going to talk about, which is called the NAFTA. They're the North America Free Trade Agreement. That has now been abolished, even though it's in the curriculum, and renegotiated according to President Trump. But it was a relationship between Canada, the United States, and Mexico that we would trade against one another and not have any tariffs, which basically means when you bring something in from one country to another that we don't charge them any kind of tax on it. That has changed a little bit. I don't know the specifics actually of what Trump negotiated, but so we still have some sort of NAFTA agreement, but it's different than what it was under President Clinton. So let's do another poll question. Green check for true, red X for not. Although NAFTA begun under President Bush, the first President Bush, it was a priority of President Clinton's passage was considered one of his first successes. Is that true or false? So somebody says they avoid politics, but fortunately we have to, if we don't vote or we don't do that, we don't get a say, right? Okay, so the majority of you got that right on there. The correct answer is true. President Clinton, it was negotiated by Bush, but Clinton's the one that passed it. Okay, we kind of talked about this a little bit. The reason people are coming to the United States and North America, as you can see right here, the gross domestic product, $46,000 per person that a person makes in the United States compared to like Thailand, which is $3,700, or Ethiopia, which is $350. Okay, and you can see how people live to be longer. 79 in the United States, almost 80, 70 in Ethiopia, and only 56. Or 70 in Thailand and only 56 in Ethiopia. Okay, and that's because of healthcare, good food that we have, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's talk about our presentation real quick. This is not due until after Thanksgiving break, the Wednesday after Thanksgiving break, but I want you guys to start working on it, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to create a slideshow, and then you're going to use a screen capture program, okay, to be able to do that. When you do your research, I'd like you to use Online Library. Here's the username and password, or you can use Google Scholar, okay? You could use like Google Slides, PowerPoint, something like that. Some people have used like Prezi in the past, anything like that that would give a thing. Now, I think the easiest way to do it is to use this program called Screencast-O-Matic. What you do is you just go to that website, and this is all put on your assignment thing. You just download it. It pops right up. It has a little outline of where you capture, and you just talk as you're going through your thing about what you researched on your presentation. You go and you can download that into a MP4, and then you can put it on there. You can watch this video to be able to see how it is. So people are asking when it's due. It's not due until 2 weeks. The 28th of November is when it is due. Okay. Where will we make the presentation? You screen capture it. So you know how I'm recording? I'm actually using Screencast-O-Matic right now. So I'm actually recording it, and then you can download it MP4 and you just send it to me. Okay, and I'll just watch it and grade you. There's a rubric on there. Okay. So somebody, I'm not good at talking, I ramble. I'd write out a script of how to do it, okay, of what you're going to say, and just go through it. And you can redo it as many times as you want. Sorry, not where, when. Yeah, when is going to be the 28th of November is when it's due. Yep, you'll have plenty of time to be able to do it. If I read from a script, I will sound fake, though. Yeah, that's okay. I'm the only one that's going to see it. Okay, so your classmates aren't going to see it. I'm not going to share it to anybody. I'm the only one that's going to see it. So don't worry about, how you sound. Like, I think I'm starting to get a little cold, so I feel a little nasally today, I mean, it happens, but I'll be the one. Okay. When do we start? You can start right now to work on it. It's in lesson 2.06 is where you can find these instructions. Okay. Yeah, but it's due the 28th of October. Or not October, November. Whoa, can't believe we're in November. Yep, October's the last one. Dude, I'm so out of the times. Everything goes over my head. Okay, that leads us to the last one. I'm going to unlock my screen so you can go back and look at things. But this is your exit ticket. You need to email me at zhancock@utahvirtual.org your favorite American food. Okay? We're talking about North America, so we got to do some American food. Fried chicken, right? I don't know. Stuff like that, okay? Can I put that in the chat? What do you want me to put in the chat? My email? I'll put my email right now. Okay, that's my email in the chat. Okay, after you guys are good to go now, unless you have some type of like any type of question or something like that. Okay. When is the presentation due? It is the 28th of November. Okay, 28th of November. Okay. All right, thanks guys. I'm gonna stop recording.